Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. As the CFO of Rahi Utilities Berhad, I'm excited to share our financial progress and the strategy driving our growth in the environment and power sectors. Our focus remains on sustainable development and delivering value to our goals. I've gone through the numbers, but I would like to hear the delighted insight. Let's start with the liquidity ratios.
Absolutely. Let's begin with the current ratio, which improved from 1.29 times in 2022 to 1.54 times in 2023. This indicates that for every ringgit in liabilities, we now have RM 1.454 ringgits in current asset compared to RM 1 ringgit 29 cent previously. It's a clear improvement in our ability to cover short-term obligations.
Good point. What about the quick ratio? It's more precise measure.
The quick ratio grew from RM 1 ringgit and 40 cent in 2022 to RM 1 ringgit 35 cent in 2023 to cover each RM 1 ringgit of short-term liabilities. These improvements reflects better liquidity without relying heavily on inventory. It's a sign that our liquid assets like cash and receivables are now sufficient to cover 155% of our short-term liabilities. This strengthens our financial flexibility.
This is encouraging. But are there any risks we should address?
Yes. While liquidity has improved, our reliance on receivables and slower inventory turnover could pose challenges if market conditions tighten. We should consider optimizing inventory levels and maintaining robust credit checks to minimize risk.
Agreed. Any recommendation to further enhance our liquidity position?
Certainly, first, streamline inventory management to free up capital. Second, continue focusing on efficient receivable collections while exploring vendor negotiables for extended payment terms.
That's a solid plan. Let's refine this recommendation and integrate them into our strategy roadmap.
Thank you. I prepare an actionable report and coordinate with operations to address inventory challenges. That's all from me. Thank you.
Excellent. Let's keep this momentum going. Let's move on to leverage ratio. Can you explain the key change we're seeing?
Okay, certainly the leverage ratio reflects some positive effort to manage debt, but there are also areas to concern regarding the company's ability to cover its interest expenses.
Starting with the debt to asset ratio, what does the change tell us?
The debt to asset ratio decreased from 71% in 2022 to 60% in 2023. This indicates the company has reduced its reliance on debt to finance its total asset, reflecting effort to control the use of debt in operations.
What about debt to equity ratio?
The debt to equity ratio dropped from RM2 ringgit 42 debt for each RM1 equity in 2022 to 1 ringgit 95 cent debt for each RM1 ringgit equity in 2023. This shows the company has shifted towards rather than depends on equity rather than debt, which reduces financial risk.
And the interest coverage ratio?
The interest cover ratio declined from 3.32 times in 2022 to 2.65 times in 2023, which indicates the company is facing more difficult in covering interest expenses. While the ratio is above 1, the downtrend could signal increased pressure on earning to meet interest obligations.
What action would you recommend based on this insight?
I suggest to continue efforts to reduce the debt level while closely monitoring interest obligations. Improving operational efficiency, profitable could help strengthen the company's ability to cover interest expenses moving forward.
Understood. We'll need to address the interest coverage issue while maintaining our debt reduction strategy.
Agree, the balanced approach will help improve both financial stability and operational performance.
Let's discuss the efficiency ratio for 2022 and 2023. Can you summarize the key change?
Sure, the efficiency ratio show mixed result. While the company has improved in some areas, there are also significant decline that need attention.
Starting with the assets turnover ratio, what can we learn from the change?
The asset turnover ratio improved significantly from 0.3 times in 2002 to 0.77 times in 2003. They indicated that the company is using its asset more efficiently to generate revenue in 2003 compared to the previous years.
That's a positive sign. What about the inventory turnover ratio?
The inventory turnover ratio declined sharply from 9.53 times in 2002 to 1.32 times in 2003. This suggests that the company is taking much longer to sell its inventory, which could point to overstocking issue, weaker sale, or inefficiency in inventory management.
What action would you recommend based on this trend?
I suggest focusing to improve inventory management to address the drastic decline in turnover. Additionally, while reasonable collection has improved, we should aim to further shorten the collection period. Continuing to build on the improved asset utilization is also critical for sustaining a revenue growth.
Good point. Let's prioritize inventory management and receivable collection in the next quarter.
Agreed. The adjustment will enhance the company overall efficiency.
Patricia, can you provide an overview of profitability ratio for 2023 compared to 2022?
Certainly, the profitability ratios showed a decline across all metrics in 2023 compared to 2022.
Let's start with the gross profit margin. What does the change tell us?
The gross profit margin dropped from 19.30% in 2022 to 16.99% in 2023, a decline of 2.31 percentage points. This indicates that the cost of goods sold (COGS) is increased at a higher rate than revenue, suggesting reduced efficiency in managing production or service-related costs.
What about the net profit margin?
The net profit margin decreased significantly from 8.24% in 2022 to 4.28% in 2023, a decline of 3.96 percentage points. This reflects reduced overall profitability, likely due to higher operating costs, reduced revenue, or pricing pressures in 2023.
How did the company perform in terms of utilizing its assets?
The return on assets (ROA) fell from 4.36% in 2022 to 3.30% in 2023, a reduction of 1.606 percentage points. This indicates that the company generates less profit per unit of assets, possibly due to underutilization of assets or declining operational efficiency.
And finally, what about shareholder returns?
The return on equity (ROE) declined from 14.89% in 2022 to 9.72% in 2023, a drop of 5.17 percentage points. This suggests the company was less effective at generating income from shareholders' equity, reflecting weaker performance in delivering returns to shareholders.
Thank you for the analysis. This gives us a clear picture of where we need to focus for improvement in 2024.
You're welcome. I would recommend further investigating cost controls, asset utilization, and pricing strategies to address these declines.
As we work together to strengthen our financial position, I would like to hear your recommendations on a few key areas. Let's go around the table, starting with Sai, and please share your recommendation for liquidity. I would like to start with how can we improve our cash flow and manage working capital more effectively. What about your thought on this?
Given the decline in profitability ratios, the company should prioritize the cost-cutting measure to improve margins and returns. A key focus should be on renegotiating supplier contracts to reduce the cost of goods and services, which would directly impact the gross profits margins. Specific action negotiates discount, bulk purchase agreements or extend payment terms with supplier to reduce costs. If suppliers are unwilling to adjust terms, explore alternative suppliers with better pricing options. Ensuring quality is not compromised, this approach will help improve profitability by lowering expenses and enhancing margins.
While liquidity ratio like the current and QE ratio have improved, the company reliance on receivable and slow-moving inventory is still a challenge, which could impact short-term cash flow. I've decided to address liquidity. I recommend negotiating better terms with supplier will improve cash flow, which is essential for our short-term stability. Thank you, Sai, for your recommendation. And how about you, Danish? Can you explain about the leverage? As you know, our current debt level and the interest coverage ratio. What do you recommend we do to manage or reduce our financial risk?
Okay, the company should proceed the equity financing to reduce financial risk as the declining interest coverage ratio indicates increasing difficulty in managing debt obligation. This approach will strengthen the company financial stability and reduce reliance on debt.
Next, while the company has reduced its debt to equity ratio, the interest coverage ratio indicates difficulty in managing debt obligations, suggesting the need for caution when considering further debt financing. So, the leverage ratio prioritize improving cash flow first before considering equity financing. This will avoid further reliance on debt at this time. Okay, thank you, Danish. How about you, Nisrina? With the recent decline in inventory turnover, what action can we take to improve inventory management and reduce holding costs?
Since the inventory turnover ratio in 2003 significantly declined, the company should focus on optimizing inventory management to improve turnover and reduce holding costs. Specific action identify and clear slow-moving inventory through promotion or discount, and use demand forecasting to align stock level with sales trends. This will help the company improve efficiency and free up cash flow.
Besides that, the company inventory turnover has decreased, and although the receivable collection has improved, it remains low, resulting in tied up capital and inefficient asset use. For operational inefficiency, optimizing inventory and clearing slow-moving stock will free up cash and improve overall efficiency. How about you, Batusha? Our profitability has been under pressure. So what step would you suggest we take to improve margin and overall performance?
For my recommendation, to address declining profitability in 2023, the company should focus on cost-cutting measures to improve margins and returns. For the key action, revisit supplier agreements to secure discount, bulk purchase deals, or better payment terms. And the second one is explore alternative suppliers with competitive pricing if current ones are inflexible. Lowering supplier costs will directly enhance gross profit margin and overall financial performance.
And finally, for declining profitability, the company has been a decline in key profitability ratio including gross and net profit margin, as well as ROA and ROE. This reflects rising costs and reduced efficiency in generating profit. For this problem, we must focus on reducing supplier costs will directly improve margin and profitability. So, given the current situation, I recommend we focus on improving liquidity and profitability first through supplier negotiation and better inventory management. Once we stabilize, we can consider equity financing. Thank you everyone for your support and collaboration. As your CFO, it's been a privilege to work alongside such a dedicated and hardworking team. Your effort and commitment have been driving force behind our achievement. And I could not have done this without you. I'm truly grateful for the trust you have placed in me and for the positive working environment we built together. Let's focus to push boundaries and aim for even greater success in the future. Thank you once again, and I look forward to what we'll achieve together forward.